So over the past couple years, Hasbro's been trying to make weaponizer Transformers. And sure, they've had their best attempts at it, but every time they've made one, it had to be a parts former. That was until Legacy, where they decided to do the Junkion weaponizers. And to everyone's surprise, they didn't need to parts form to transform. Now, I wasn't originally going to pick any of these up due to me not liking the past weaponizers. But then, one caught my eye, and that was the Junkion axelgrease. So today, we're going to review the Transformers Legacy Evolution axelgrease. Starting off in vehicle mode, axelgrease turns into like a Mad Max style car. That's something a lot of the Junkions have in common. They're always like post-apocalyptic looking cars. But here on axelgrease, I love how it looks, especially because it's not the normal Junkion colors. I love the shades of blue and pink they've gone with. I love how there's like little details sticking out, like these pink bump things. And how there's like scratches in the door. And how she has visible bars through her windows. I just love how it looks. And the engine, I love how that looks. Now, something about this car mode reminds me a lot about Lockdown, as he was like a Mad Max style car, with like this front section here, and he had little spikes on him. So, I could see this getting a future retool into Lockdown, which might be happening with the next Transformers line that comes out at some point next year. But even if she doesn't get retooled into Lockdown, I do like that we've at least got one Junkion that looks this amazing. As the past couple ones I didn't really like the look of. That might also play into why I didn't pick them up. But after getting axelgrease in hand, I might end up going back to pick them up. Now, the only part of the vehicle mode I don't like is the hook accessory, as it doesn't really look like it fits in if you plug it into the back or these ports on the back of her or in the wheels or stuff. Basically, the hook doesn't really got anywhere to go. Now, you can just plug it on and say it's fine, but to me personally, I don't like the look of that, so this is an accessory I have to sit off to the side, sadly. But otherwise, it's all completely fine. But hey, she looks good in vehicle mode, so I just had to take some pictures, so here they are. Transformation on axelgrease is a little annoying, on my copy at least. Whilst, yes, she does have some pass-forming nature to her, they could only do so much with her as she was a retool to start with. But trying to transform her, a lot of tolerances on my one specifically are really bad, as the arms are annoying as they'd like to pop off at any given moment. The legs don't want to stay in place and they're really hard to split apart. The wrists don't want to rotate to get them into normal orientation. It's a lot of fiddling with her to try and get her to transform properly, but she is really annoying to split apart with how tight her joints are. Here we are in robot mode, and wow, I love how she looks. I love the colorization she has. I like how a lot of the gray sticks out a lot more. All the chest detail and leg detail looks amazing. There's so much I could give compliments about her, but there are also some negative features about her. Like, I don't like how the waist looks. It just doesn't look good to me specifically. I don't know what it is, it's just something about it. Maybe it's the way the hips are molded. And come around to the back, I don't really like how they peg together and leave this giant gap in the center. But otherwise, she's quite good. Like, the head sculpt looks amazing. She's got like this 3-tier thing on her head. Her face looks amazing. Now, she does got a bit of a hollow head, which is weird, but I can look past it in this one case. And her chest details look great. Like, I love the spikes on her chest region and how the grill areas are. Now, I don't exactly know what part of the car this is meant to look like, as the front of the car's on her feet. So I'm not quite sure what they are, but it looks fine. I love how the engine splits apart and becomes more leg details, and her arms are quite cool as well. And one of the few things that do annoy me about her is the placement of the exhaust pipes. As they're pass-forming nature, they can be put anywhere, but I haven't really found a spot that looks good for me. So far, I've managed to find these couple spots on the sides of the arms that I like, but altogether, I don't really like their placements. But otherwise, she looks amazing. Articulation-wise is pretty much standard. Starting off, there's a swivel at the head. Shoulders go all the way around and bend a little under 90. The arms are double jointed, but because of the way the shoulders are sculpted, you won't be able to get much movement out of it, so the best you're looking is a little over 90. The wrists rotate, but mine are tight, so they won't, and bicep rotates, but mine really doesn't like to. There's a waist swivel. Legs are unimpeded in all directions. There's a knee swivel, and knee bends about 90. The foot goes all the way up and down, and has a massive pivot. Accessory-wise, you get quite a lot of things. Starting off, you get her exhaust pipe things that we talked about earlier. They're cool, but I really don't have anywhere for them to look good on her. But they are blast effect compatible, which I do like, even if it is a bit hard for them to get on. Next, she comes with these back parts for a vehicle mode, which are like guns for a robot mode, which they're cool, I guess. I don't really like the look of them, but she does have other guns, and that being the engine block. You can pull them apart and they become two separate guns, and I just like how these look a lot more, as they're actually molded with a lot more detail because they're engine blocks. And finally, she gets a hook, which is cool, I guess. It doesn't really fit in her hand. Well, it fits, but doesn't look good to me personally. So what I do is take one of the backs of the cars, plug that in there, and then plug that onto her arm. Give her like a lockdown hook type situation. I like how it looks there, but otherwise I don't use it at all. Now, axle grease being a weaponizer means she is a gimmick. So what weaponizers are is you can pull them apart and use them for weapons. Now personally, I like the concept, but in execution it doesn't work, as the weapons themselves never look that good, and the tolerances of the core bot always seem to suffer. But I guess if you try, you can make some good looking weapons, but I really doubt they'll look that good. But hey, axle grease looks so good that I just had to put her in some poses, so here they are. This has been the review for the Transformers Legacy Evolution Junkion Axle Grease. Tell me, what do you think about this figure? Do you like her or do you not? Personally, I'm leaning towards the not, as the concept's a good idea. In execution, it doesn't really work. It left the core robot with a lot of tolerance issues. Like recording this specific video, the leg fell off and just refused to stay on. So recording that was a pain, and the arms fell off all the time. Personally, I don't think the idea for weaponizers work that well, but tell me, what do you think? Thanks for watching.